Hey, good morning, everyone. Max, Mike, Bernie, Brennan, and Nancy. I thought it would be quicker to just do a video with an update instead of writing it out so that you all had to read it. And first, let me apologize for the lapse in communication since I have transitioned into my new role. It's been a little overwhelming at times, but I just wanted to give you an update and sort of explain the changes and the challenges, especially with feedback where I'm concerned anyway. Coming to you from the Striner household, where sales activity has fallen off a cliff. Guess I'm going to be here for a while. So at first, when I took over, like right after NeoCon, I was especially nervous about OED because they had been, I guess themselves, a little apprehensive or tentative, worried maybe about getting Patty Striner as a sales manager, and some of that information might have, or that impression given to certain members of their team might have been miscommunicated. But anyway, I was worried about it, and I wanted to make sure that I was here to respond, and actually I was afraid to leave my desk and my iPad for fear that something would come that I would have to refer to quickly. So I just wanted to make sure that I covered them really well. So the first bit of time, I just concentrated mostly on the new reps and making sure that I got CDAs done quickly and responded to emails and answered the phone when they called. I didn't even want to get a voicemail that I would have to return. So. But then when I got out on the road, well, first I was nervous about that because I thought, okay, so how am I gonna respond quickly and be on the road, like in a car with somebody or in presentations constantly, and that actually worked out okay. So, but I was on the road for 2 months, and that brought about some challenges. Meeting so many new people and trying to keep things straight, especially projects, was it was kind of funny because, you know, Terry Moore would call and go, oh, you know, we've got to make a decision on this project. I'm like, what project are you talking about? Because it was hard to keep them all straight. And you know, again, with meeting all the new people and going to new dealerships, and you have no idea how many CBIs and CIs and PMCs and OFRs and office resource, office furniture warehouses there are. So it's been kind of a challenge for me to keep that straight. And with managing personalities and critical feedback and talking for days on end. And then when I'm in the car with a rep, but you know, somebody that I don't know very well, they talk incessantly. John Gordon never stops talking. I know every Steelcase story from Frank Johnson since 1975. All right, I don't actually remember the stories, but I heard them. So anyway, that has been overwhelming at times and literally exhausting. And there was, I think, 2 weeks in a row when I got home from a trip at like 1 a.m. So then I'm pretty much useless on Friday. But with that, I've been struggling a little bit with the feedback format and content. Because I am, you know, I feel like I'm the lone person here, and as I've been meeting new people, they feel like they have someone new to give critical feedback to, which is absolutely true. And I've always welcomed, I ask for critical feedback. Whenever I do a sales meeting, I'm like, you guys have to give this feedback to us because they get tired of hearing it from me. And I really do believe that everyone gets tired of hearing it from me. So And the feedback has been sort of from one spectrum to the other. There is this high praise for customer service, and then the other end of the spectrum is our marketing, which we all know is so much better. We've made so much progress in the last couple of years, but there are some people practically in every meeting who will be very pointed in criticizing the website, which I think rocks. I don't even know where that comes from. Brochures. Michael Moore at Synergy called us sleepy and criticized the logo with the green and the blue and the brown. And so I've gotten an awful lot of that, and that puts me in an uncomfortable position. The people on the list, on that email list that the weekly update goes to, I don't believe need to hear all of that negative feedback. I told Mike there's strength in numbers, or there was, when Kirby and Cheryl were sending in their reports too, because we would tend to agree on things, or we would hear the same kinds of things at the same time. And it's easy to say, yeah, what he said is what I hear. But now being the only person that's sending that back, I don't want to. You get what I'm saying. So also I'm enlightened on problems when I go out. Everybody knows about Bill Hoodapole, I think that's the way he pronounces his name, his table. And I mean, that just becomes such a big thing. Like, I go and have to apologize to him and got him a gift card to say we're so sorry for this situation, which should never have happened. So everybody in Jasper knows about that, and I don't need to reiterate it, although it's a big part of that particular week. And it can go down to something very simple as my electrical cutout was wrong on a podium, and that was a long appointment too in San Antonio. But what I'd like to do is get feedback from you as to what exactly you want to hear. It's not going to be productive to say, I did 10 post-NeoCon presentations and 2 lunch and learns at a dealership when there's really nothing interesting about that. It might be interesting to you, but it's just not. There's I guess not a great contribution there, at least in my opinion. So, but I need to report back what you want to hear. Also, I think that the criticism portion of it, if it's okay with you guys, should come to you. You guys can take it. You're as anxious to hear it, I guess, as I am. But just as an example for the marketing, I don't think Roger Crowder needs to hear the criticism of the marketing, or Paul for that matter, or just some of the things that really don't affect them. But that's just my opinion. So as far as like info from the field, what's important to you? And so all of that being said, I just wanted to give you a little rundown of where I have been, because I feel like I've been everywhere, although I'm at home now, which has been kind of nice. But I went to Atlanta. I worked with Casey quite a bit, Scott Hellman, who's interesting, and Eric. He made me drive. Also, driving in Atlanta just it's not a good thing. It's not safe at all. I need more life insurance if I'm going to continue to do that. But we did a little in-deal meeting at DeKalb, the Steelcase dealer, and that was completely uninteresting. I guess it was valuable to somebody, but I don't know. I went to Knoxville, Chattanooga, and Nashville with Betsy. That was fun. She's a hoot to be with. And then Baltimore with Max and Mike and Kevin Schneider, and that was a really great trip. Thank you guys again. Southern Florida with John Gordon. Charlotte with Frank Johnson. That was, even though I got to hear all the Steelcase stories from the 1970s and how everyone has evolved in the dealer world in Charlotte, that was a pretty good experience. It's funny because the feedback on him is, where's Frank? You know, he disappears for days at a time, but he's really good. He was fun to do lunch and learns and sales presentations with, and he's way better than I thought he was going to be. So that was good. I went to Austin with Kelly Hewitt, which was interesting. She's a pretty free spirit, and San Antonio with Kristen, and that's where I got to meet delightful Bill. He was so nice and so understanding about that table, and I'm glad we got it out the door for him. So went to Raleigh with Jeff Newton. We did RaleighCon at Store, which is a Steelcase dealer. They do this after NeoCon show, and I need to find out what's going on with the secret table, because we opened the secret table, got it out of the crate and carried it in. I didn't. And it was really squeaky, and Brennan knows the story. I talked to him. So the couple of legs were so squeaky, and so Jeff went underneath and started tightening up things. Tightened it so much that now it was easy for him to work it, but it was a real struggle for me to push it back in. And I know I'm old, but I really did have a sore shoulder the next day. I was like, wow, I got to work out on that table. Then I went to Tampa with Tobin, and I love Tobin. He's an interesting character too, and he's really good at what he does. So, and then in Philly with Doug and Andrew and Sean McGarrigle, we had a great sales meeting at AOE, which is who Westchester University is going through, and they've made a commitment to partner with us. So we'll see what happens with that. But Gary Shoemaker, the one who is doing Westchester University, has a couple of new projects coming our way. So that's nice to know. So that's the update. Again, I apologize for it taking so long. I know you miss me. You will see me on Monday. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody and being there, because it's been a long time, obviously, since I've been to Jasper. So let me know what you think. Please give me feedback, and then Mike and I will sort of get together and decide what format to do these reports going forward. Okay. Have a great day. See you guys soon. Bye.